Today we will be talking about innovations and methodologies of teaching. Hello, I'm Mr. Glenn from Salala Nursing Institute. Active learning has been used for several years and active learning has been found to be effective. Let us start with identifying what active learning is. So what do we mean by active learning involves teaching techniques that is something other than straight lecture. Second, active learning is not an entire project or assignment, but a much smaller task you give your student. However, a project or assignment can have several active learning pieces within it. Third, in order to consider something as active learning, student must be doing something like discovering, processing, and applying, not just listening to a lecture or reading a PowerPoint. Active learning can take many different forms. The instructor often uses different strategies due to different approach to teaching and learning. In the classroom, the instructor might ask the student to turn to their neighbors and discuss a particular topic. In an online course, the same exercise can be accomplished. A discussion thread, instant messaging, and document sharing is an idea that is used, but the same approach is different. So why are these examples considered as active learning? In a face-to-face class example, simply having students turn to their neighbors and discuss a topic is considered as active learning. In an online course, having two students discuss the same topic by a discussion thread is active learning as well. Research shows that students learn more when they are engaged in active learning, and it's important to remember that lecture does have its place in both face-to-face and online course learning environment. However, during active learning, students are involved in much more than reading and listening. More emphasis is placed on higher order thinking skills such as analysis and synthesis and evaluation. Further research has shown that students retain 75% of what they say and write, and they retain 90% of what they do. Compare this with the fact that student retains 10% of what they read and 20% of what they hear. Now you'll start to understand why active learning is important. Now that we have an understanding of what active learning is and why we should implement it, let's look at specific examples to give you a clear picture of what constitutes active learning in practice. Let's take, for example, a small group discussion in a face-to-face setting. You might group your student up and ask them to discuss a particular topic. While this alone is considered an active learning, you can add on the exercise by asking the group to present their findings in front of the class in the form of presentation, standard lecture, a radio or TV commercial, or a comedy skit. Small group discussion in an online course, you can group your student in separate discussion threads. Again, this alone is considered to be an active learning. But you can add on the course by having the student present their findings by using various Web 2.0 tools like recording presentation via PowerPoint or Prezi, submit voice thread with audio or images that relates the topic, or present their topic in a story format using Google Maps. As you can see, the possibilities are limitless, so be creative. So what about evaluation? Both face-to-face and online learning examples cover higher order of thinking skills of analysis and synthesis. It is quite easy to give a peer review of the presentation. In a face-to-face class, you can simply have the student give their opinions on how appropriate and how well presented the information. This should also spur more conversation with the guidance of the instructor. So above the examples that are considered active learning in our face-to-face and online learning, the small group discussion, active preparation of presentation, the presentation itself and evaluation are a step of the process in itself and are distinct learning and teaching strategies. Since students retain more information This simply states that active learning equates better learning. Sorry. This has all been about active learning. Active learning equates better learning. This has been Mr. Glenford Valdez of Salala Nursing Institute, wishing you all the best.